Zesty looks under a tree. Zesty is enormous. And he's right next to the mic, so I gotta... Alright, you're gonna run around and do your thing? Okay, then. So, I had a nap. I had an ice cream break in Star tradition. Look at this dumb fuck walking around. Look at me, my fucking bad posture. Fucking I'm Neelthok, and then my mom thinks I'm cool. Yeah? We're there, dude. We're getting there. I had to take a nap because I was really tired. And, yeah, I was getting rambly, more so than usual, that I'm okay with. I can tolerate when I'm rambly, but after a point, I want to make sure I'm coherent, you know what I mean? So, alright. What's the goal for this video? We're gonna try and get to Ancients. And I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble with Ancients. I say this now. But, and then we're gonna do Bale, and then I'll do some off-camera grinding action. Wow, nice grinding action. I really need some better armor at this point. I'm getting a little bit in that point where I need it, and I might have to start switching out for 2 heals instead of 1. I think that might be the... Zesty, you're fine. You're enormous. Stop. Zesty is enormous. We went to the vet and we had him weighed. He's only like 13 pounds. He's not huge for a cat. He's pretty small. Not in a bad way, but he is like probably 2 or 3 generations of inbreeding, so explains a lot. But, I'm feeling good. I'm doing fucking good. I'll get you higher than the airport. No, I had sopa for dinner, which if you've never had it, it's a American Mexican comfort food. If you've never had that before, take yourself a big old pot, take like half a box of spaghetti, preferably angel hair. You want a thin pasta, noodly pastas. Thick pasta won't work as well. Throw a little bit of oil in the pan, and then you soft fry. Oh wow, nice grinding action. I found that really quick. And then you take whatever seasonings you like. I usually just use parsley, bay leaves. Oh, sorry, bay leaves. And then whatever extra ones like cumin, stuff like that. And then you throw that in there. How is Shank not melted yet? This character sucks. There we go. There. Now you're melted. Go away. Oh, leave me alone, guy. I'm not... Your business is not with me. I can tell you that right now. And then you soft fry it. You know, you don't want it to burn. You just want to move it around a bit. Then you add tomatoes, your spices, and then you mix that around with some chicken stock and Zesty. No. Come here. You're fine. Yeah. You're Gucci. Promises. Anyways, you soft fry that, and then you add your spices and some stock, and then you can add whatever extra shit you want at this point. You can add cream, or I don't use anything like that. Eldrick the Rectum, cool, damn near killed him. And then you pretty much just let it simmer for like 20 minutes after it's on like boil. You can do it even faster if you want to. And you have yourself a good man, Hank. It's a really nice dinner. It goes well with, I made some fried rice and some refried beans. Holy shit, this is a bad location to be in. I need to kill something and not get killed. Holy fuck. I'm starting to miss my targeted abilities from my other characters, if I'm honest. Those gauntlets cannot be any worse than what I've got, so I'm actually tempted in picking them up, because I have got absolute dog water for items right now. Alright, so we got our first guys. Alright, we need our Let Us Out guys done. And then we can get Ral or Tal, which will give us Ancient's Pledge, which I actually kind of want, but we need to find a decent one-handed weapon. And if you guys are like, so what am I planning on getting in Nightmare or prepping up to? It's looking like Spirit, Sword, and Shield, if I can. Spirit Sword first, but Shield later if I can. That'll take a while, though. I'll have to get into Hell difficulty for that. And then probably just a decent item like Suicide Branch, maybe a couple... Well, there's a lot of, like, Druid items that are, like, plus skills, which can't hurt. So, I need those. But for the most part, yeah, soap is great. You should... It does not take any effort to make. Some people use bouillon cubes. I don't do that because I'm lazy. Let that sink in. I think bouillon cubes are lazy. Let us oot! Yeah, get out of there, you pieces of shit, you bobble-headed barbarian bastards. There we go. But yeah, soap is great. I know the word means soup in Spanish. Those of you who don't know, I actually do speak Spanish. It's been many moons since I've spoke Spanish fluently, but I do speak Spanish. I was going to be an ESL teacher in Mexico. It's probably weird to people because I don't really talk about that, but that was like what school taught me to do, not what I really wanted to do. Because I was like, fuck that, I'm a writer and a musician, I want to do that. And they're like, you need to go to college to be that. I don't want to. And now, I make YouTube videos. And it's fun. I enjoy it. Do you not enjoy the finer things in life too? But yeah, soap is great. It's not my favorite. I like to make pozole every now and then too. If you never had pozole, it's a ancient Aztec dish. It was a... Well, traditionally it's made with people, but we don't do that anymore. So what you do is you boil some chicken or pork. I use chicken. You boil it for an hour, and then you shred it up, and you can add like vegetables and stuff to the chicken, but I just don't do it sometimes unless I have a lot of extra like vegetables that are about to go out. And you do that for an hour. Obviously, you drain the vegetables out. You don't need to use them for anything. You can... I've seen people pulse them. I've tried it. Like onions, carrots, garlic. I don't like it. It makes the soup look weird, and it gives it an off kind of taste that I don't really want. You're really using the vegetables for like tea leaves at that point. And so it's really good, but you do that, and then you add in hominy. I use like 2 or 3 of the larger cans. Because I actually really like hominy. Like, I can eat it out of the can itself. We've been through this before. You just put in, like, some... Well, actually, what you really should do first, if I'm honest, if we're talking about how to make pozole from scratch, what you want to do is you want to steep your peppers. I use California, Guaya, and, sometimes California and Poyas, and you steep those for a few minutes, and then you blend them up, or I use a food processor, and then you let them steep, and then you know, sieve it all out, and then you have this really nice... I don't really go hardcore spicy, because I obviously can't eat it, so I don't make very spicy pozole, for the record. Holy shit, I don't want to be in this room. Or spot, whatever you want to call it. And then you put that as your, like, base for your spices, and then you can add, like, chili powder if you want to. I usually use, for the herbs, I usually go with oregano. Basil, I find, kind of dominates the flavor too much sometimes, so I don't really do it. Basil works, though. But for sure, oregano, you want to get Spanish oregano, preferably. There's 2 different types. There's Italian oregano, and then there's Spanish oregano. They're different strains. They do have a slight difference in taste. I think that... I like the flavor, because I'm more used to it, of Spanish oregano. That's usually what you end up getting in, like, dried, most places in, like, food stores. And then usually I go with the smallest amount of cayenne pepper. You can add as much to that as you want. I don't put very much in it. You can add garlic and onion powder if you really want to. Sometimes that helps. I don't add black pepper because it just dominates the flavor and makes it taste like shit. So, and I also can't eat cilantro because I'm allergic to it. Tastes like shit anyways, but yeah. And then I use parsley instead because it's the superior herb. And then I just let it all simmer for like a half hour or so, and then you go. You got pozole. Some people use pork. Some people use menudo. Menudo I don't like personally. Instead of like pork meat or something else. But if you like menudo, more power to you. I think it's belongs in the trash. It's not food. It's gross to me. We've been through this. But yeah, if you like menudo, that's what it is. It's okay. Menudo is literally just pozole with sheep intestine instead, or pork intestine instead. That's the only difference instead of like pork meat. Why are these guys over here? This is so weird. Usually they spawn on the right-hand side. What the fuck's going on with my... Ooh, I actually need a new belt. Mine's really bad. Oh god, I gotta be careful. This is a really bad spot to get bottlenecked in. I don't want to die. I don't think I'm going to, but it's getting to the point where it's getting noodly and I'm getting nervous. I haven't really came close to dying yet. Maybe like twice, probably. And it was on Diablo, but that's fair, because Diablo I think is harder than Bale, personally. But that could be because I think Diablo just has a higher, like, res damage than, like, Bale. I could be talking right out my ass, but you know what I mean. I don't think Diablo's ever been as hard to me as Bale. Other way around, sorry. I'm really tired still, if you could not tell. But yeah, there's... Some people don't like pozole. I personally think it's great. I don't know what happens to some people. They get, like, horror stories of, like, thick pozole with, like, a bunch of shit in it, and I'm like, I don't know who did what to you, but they did it wrong, and I'm so sorry. This is really good density, because I kind of need it. So, I've talked about leveling before. I've talked about leveling many times over this series, but the consensus for me, so how I level in Diablo 2 is I start off with, I go through the whole game. The first place you want to level up to is 20. Now, I always say this every year so everybody knows it, because you're not going to fucking forget it by the end of it. I kind of fucked around because I'm trying to get this done. Should be our waypoint area. But yeah, you should be level 30 by the end of Act 2 if you're doing things efficiently. You don't have to, by the way, but I always do it because it's much more safe, and I don't want to die. Because I always say this too, the moment you die in this game is the moment your character goes to shit. Especially if you're playing hardcore, because your character's dead at that point. Or sorry, they are unalived, they are no more. Yeah, I just don't... I don't trust it. It's because I have bad luck, and I don't like to have it going downhill. It gets enormous. But anyways, you should be level 30 by the end of Act 2, normal. By the end of Act 2, you want to be grinding in... Sorry. 1 to 20, you should be 1 to 20 by the end of Tristram. Right? We've done this a million times. Oh, it's over here. Wow. And then Act 3, Canyon of Magi, up to 30. And then what I do is I just bull rush all the way to the end of the game. I kill Bale. If I was not recording, I'd do this. I usually grind Shank and Eldritch on players 1. I start off with players 1, and then I just start going higher and higher till I don't get as much XP. And then I want to be like level 50 before I do Nightmare. I'm going really hard on this character this year because I want to do it right. No death, preferably at all. and I want to have a smooth experience with this druid. I've never done this before. But once you're done with Eldritch and Shank, you want to start doing Bale runs to 50. And then by the end of Nightmare, you should naturally be close to level 60 or 65, and then you want to be 70. So, like I said, 70 by the end of Nightmare, at least. Maybe 75 if you can push it, and you're going to be getting those off of Bale. There are hundreds probably of other methods of leveling. These are just the ones I use personally. You do not have to do the same thing I do. But I always recommend it because it's a lot safer and you just don't want to get fucked up, right? FHR, 17 to life, 20 to mana, max res. No, poison. But a lot more pot space, and I'm not losing anything with this. So we'll keep that there. Cold res 24. That is better by like 10%, so we're taking that. That's perfect. That's great. But you should naturally level up pretty quickly going through Nightmare. You don't really need to grind any specific areas in Nightmare mode, except Bale. That's your end goal. You can still do the same things like Magi and stuff like that. You can always do those pit stops, but I personally don't do it because I'm usually in a hurry and I'm trying to level as fast as I possibly can so I can get to the end game for YouTube as fast as I can. These goddamn dudes are going to be so awful. I'm not talking about the harpies. I'm talking about the bullshit. These guys are going to be super easy. I think Act 5 is going to be super easy in hell because most of the enemies in it are actually cold resistant. So none of our damage is cold, and that makes me a very happy camper. But I still want to max my damage out, preferably. And then I'm going to start going up to Fissure to 20. Fissure is going to be our first big dump stat. And from what I was looking at in general, I only look at Mr. Llama and a handful of sites, by the way. We should be okay with that. I still am really set that I want to get Poison Creeper. And you can say, Seth, that's a terrible idea. And until I respec the character, if I do, I'm going to try not to. I want to have that. Some people would say you should get the bear, and I'm pretty sure, but like I always say, the character's done by the time we're uploaded. So, well, not... So what I always do is normal. As soon as I finish normal, I start rendering out the videos, and then you get the videos. Once I get to Nightmare, the end of Nightmare, I usually have it already done, because I've ground off camera while editing. Ooh, it's probably shit. Let's be real here. That's not really going to be a good item. It's probably going to be Sanders, I think, is what chainmail is. Is this the Glacial Trail? That's not what I wanted. That's not cool, man. But you should usually get levels really quickly, by the way. I forgot to mention, I always say this for new players because even though I'm playing D2 Classic, well, Classic D2, not Diablo 2 Classic, the mode, which I never talk about enough. Holy shit, like, I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, you know, it really did just occur to me. They basically gave you Classic D2, the game, for free. You have 2 different modes, 3, technically 4, modes of play in Diablo 2 right off the bat. That's fucking crazy. That's a good value. No wonder I like this game so much. Because you get hardcore. Anyways. Oh, goddamn, that's fucking awful. These things will lower my res, and I don't have very good res to start with, so I don't want to fuck around. But yeah, leveling characters, you should always do this, okay? Everyone is worried about losing maps, and I get it. I play in Plugy because I'm fat and lazy, and I played in Bnet for years, so I think I earned my ability to do this. Because here's the other thing, in Bnet you cannot choose player set. In Plugy you can. I think even in vanilla Diablo 2 with no mods you can also use player commands, I'm pretty sure. Like... No, it's... Oh, I can't remember what it is. You know what I mean. There's one that plays every noise in the game at like once, I'm pretty sure. Maybe that's just a rumor and I don't know it, but oh well. There's a lot more advantages to playing in single player, in my opinion. No lag, that's a big one. Oh Jesus, I do not want to get caught up on... So those frozen Yeti dudes, they'll actually stun lock me if I'm not careful. I think their description doesn't show it, but they will stun lock you if they hit you. The same thing with the regular abominable... Yeah, see? So it's like, I don't really want to get stunned because I don't really have the greatest defense yet. Now, I do understand that I want to get... I keep wanting to call it Hodo, but my Heart of the Oak... I mean, that's technically... Is that really what it's called? Oak Sage, sorry. I forget what it's actually called. I'm so used to the O skill, I don't actually think about it. I want to get that up later, but right now, I want to start focusing on damage. That's another thing if you're ever curious. What do you want to start off with? So initially, your build should be done mid-Nightmare, or even pre-Nightmare. It all depends on what you're doing. So like this character would technically have been done by like level, what is this, 24? I don't remember when this unlocks. But you know, we wanted Volcano and I hardly ever use it, but whatever. I mean, the Volcano is going to get better. It's just not as good yet. So yeah, once your main dump skills are done, so that usually is in your 40s or 60s, generally is when the character is quote-unquote done with the concept. Usually most characters are done and everything else is just defensive, but I usually say if you have offensive spells or whatever, that's cool, but I really strongly suggest defensive. I'm really going to try and put 10 points into Frozen Creeper, or sorry, Frozen... Fucking hell. Into Poison Creeper, and then 10 points into Spirit before we're in Hell. Preferably mid-Nightmare is my hope for that. Maybe even this, I don't know, but I really want to get damage up because I want to take advantage of that, but I also think I'm going to do Poison Creeper next once I max Fissure because I need that poison damage to break immunities. Yay, we're near Anya. Where the hell is she? Okay, she's over here. I really need to get that poison damage ready because once those immunities hit, dude, they're going to be bullshit, and I need something to kill it. The Mercenary will help for sure, and the Poison Creeper will help, the Spirit will help to a very small degree, but you know what I mean. It's like, I do not want to be caught with my pants down because it's... What? Yeah, you do? Why you gotta lie like that? Why you gotta fucking be a liar? Why you always lying? Okay, thanks. Give me my piece of paper, Mala. Why you gotta be so aggressive about it? Jeez. Someone's fucking take their Benefiber, their Metamucil. But yeah, I really want to get Poison Creeper maxed. Okay, preferably I want to get... Alright, so I've talked about it before. We're gonna get Firestorm, Fissure, and Volcano max. So that's 60 skill points, not including anything. So by level 60, we should... Go away. You too, go away. We should be level 60 at least by the time these are done. And then since we're not doing shapeshifting, we're fine. Poison Creeper is at level 5, but it's at 4. Go away. 5, but we want that maxed preferably, so what I'm going to do is max Fissure, and then we're going to do Poison Creeper, and then we're going to do Firestorm, and then I'm going to switch between Oak Sage and Cyclone Armor. Preferably Oak Sage first. I genuinely want that percentage, because it is an incremental percentage per thing. If you guys are following my Median series, I talk about this in there. It is much more important to have percentages than flat numbers in Diablo, in general, not just in, Median. Because a percentage is massive. Usually, even a dum-dum like me who got a C- in fucking Algebra 2 can tell you This is no bullshit. I got a C- in Algebra 2 and I failed Geometry 1. So, I took it twice, you know, it don't matter. It's a percentage is always better than a flat number if the number is within a very specific region, I should say. It's not always guaranteed, but in Diablo specifically, percentages are always higher than a raw flat number, and that's because the way that Diablo's skills work is they all work on like a scaling slider, so they never really get worse, but their diminishing returns usually kick in. There's some skills that don't have it, but it generally is better to try and get your skills up by a certain point, usually that you're comfortable with, and then percentages and plus gear are usually going to be what you're going for. So I hope that makes sense, but I think I might actually max Volcano more. Let me double check, because I haven't actually looked. So Volcano receives damage from Fissure, Molten Boulder. Yeah, it's not even affected by Firestorm. But this is affected by Firestorm and Volcano. So I guess I'll go Fissure and Volcano maxed first, and then do Fissure last. Or sorry, Firestorm last. We'll see. I know what I'm doing. I just want to explain it, because a lot of this shit's going to change as soon as we kill Dale. And you also... This is like I always say, it's not for like just new players. I mean, I was a long-time player and I didn't know shit about this game for a long fucking time. Just because I played it forever, I'm still wrong every now and then. Okay, that's not true. I'm never wrong about this game. I am always 100% factually correct, and you should take everything I say as gospel and correct. Never ever wrong. When have I ever been wrong about this game? I'll wait. Yeah, thought about it. Oh, we should probably get rid of some shit, because I actually do want a better set of gloves. These ones are not very good. Alright, Decker Kane, what you got? Yep, Cathan's. Garbage. I called that in 2 seconds. 18 energy. This is not the page. Seth, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Don't put things there. That's not where that goes. I'm so used to median where I could just control click. Ew, that's not a good belt at all. I mean, that's high, but this is normal, and we need to start settling for better. I know. Seth's being picky. He's being picky in a game that has a lot of options, so at least he's not being picky in a game with few options. I don't need to ID those right away. This is not urgent, but it is, so... But for me personally, I think Volcano and... Because Volcano, as you can see, it has a very long cooldown, but it hits things a lot, and it actually hit stuns enemies, I've noticed, too. I noticed that when I was actually fucking around with it in Canyon, and I think that's actually a really good, like, just benefit, is that I can stun lock enemies. And on top of Fissure's damage, that's just going to be, like, getting fucked by a three-way, okay, and not in a gay way. So, it's pretty important damage. And obviously Poison Creeper is giving us poison damage. Every single point matters. And I know you're probably like, now Seth, poison damage gets a lot of hard counters in Nightmare and Hell difficulty. I'm aware of that. But I also do not want to die. And I want to make sure I don't have to respec the character at all. Preferably because I want to make sure... This is my very first druid, and I want it to go smooth, right? Ooh, we'll sell that. But yeah, I just want to make this smooth, alright? I'm terrified of making a mistake on a character I've never played before. That is like the biggest... You guys have no idea how terrified I actually am. It's a big deal, alright? I think we'll get up to Neelathok. His area, I should say. You know what? We're 29 minutes in. We're just gonna do it all. Fuck it. This is a big boy act. You know how to play Diablo. You want to fall asleep? You're gonna fall asleep good. Wake the fuck up. Seth's playing Diablo. Alright, you know what's up. This ain't no pussy shit. Actually, no, I'll probably break it at Neelathok for my own convenience. Not because I'm a whore, but like 30 minutes is usually okay. I'll do up to Neelathok, and then we'll do Ancients and Vale. How about that? That sound good? Great. It should, because it's what I'm doing. And I've decided it. It's declared. We're done. This conversation is ogre. That was my favorite scene in Shrek, was when he looked at Fiona and said, "This conversation is ogre," and then he ogred all over the place. And then he penetrated my virgin butthole. I would love it if that was referenced in some horrible, horrible DreamWorks thing in the future, because I know for a fact they'd do it. And that is the funniest shit to me, is they totally would. You can't argue it, they totally would. Because DreamWorks tries to be edgy, and they've always tried to be edgy. Because, you know, you were part of my you were going to become one of my most erotic fantasies, but you know what? Forget that. Just write the whole thing off. I want to know what ants have as erotic. Have you ever seen the video Ants on Crack? I like how I'm asking this like you personally are in the same room. This is also why I don't do live streams if you're curious. But if you've never seen the video Ants on Crack, look it up. It is the best thing ever. I cannot show it to you because this is something you have to find because of someone else. You cannot find this on your own. You have to have someone show you this. Alright, so this should give us 18. And I want another point in strength. I want to keep my strength at like 100 and something, I think is where we're ending. I don't really know yet. I haven't really decided on the strength cap, because I don't think that... It's a caster build, so I'm not really worried. But yeah, look up Ants on Crack. It's fantastic. You'll know exactly what video it is because it looks like an ant that just died on like an OD in the 60s. It's beautiful. I don't know who uploaded it, but they're the best person ever. Oh my god. Crack! 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 Say crack again. Crack. That's not the same thing, but you know what I mean. Shh. Now you're looking it up. And you're probably thinking, how does Seth find all this shit? I don't know. I just do. I'm really good at it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm the best at finding obscure things on the internet. I usually show these obscure things to my coworkers, obviously within reason. Like, push the Whopper button. If you've never seen that, look up push the Whopper button. Yeah. Your life's been fucking changed, hasn't it? I just blew your goddamn mind, didn't I? Waypoint's always up here. I don't think it ever moves. Where is it? I don't know why I'm always worried about this waypoint. I never go here, but I just am. Fuck it, we're not dealing with it. We're going... We have business with the ancients, man. That's our first goal, is to get up there. And then we'll break the video. We're not going to do ancients, because I always like to do that later. We want to do Neelathok. Our business is with Bony Bitch Boy. Even though the reward's not worth it, the temple very much is, because that's actually part of my grinding strat. Wow. Nice grinding action. Now it's going to drive people crazy, because they'll have no idea where I get that from. I have, like, the most bizarre, obscure video reference library you'll ever find. And you know what? I like that. Sometimes I like to keep it a mystery. Because I like to tease people and make them question, what the fuck is Seth's problem? And you know what? I don't think I know. I don't think the therapist I had knew either. I'm a man of mystery. And that's all I got. I don't have anything else after that. You demon trickster. I'm doing laundry in the background and it's like 9 o'clock and I gotta work tomorrow. How many times do I say that in a Diablo video? It's X o'clock and I have to work tomorrow. That is the Diablo 2 mantra of this channel, isn't it? I don't think there's ever been a video where I haven't pointed that out at some point or the other. I've never just been like, I don't work tomorrow, it's fine. It's always, it's like 2 in the morning and I gotta get up for work in a few hours. It's never something like, you know, it's Friday night. Okay, I work Fridays, but whatever. My work week is Wednesday through Sunday. It's Sunday night. Do you know where your kids are at 10 o'clock? Well, if you don't have kids, it's not a problem. Continue to do drugs. I wish that was the commercial. I missed those commercials. I looked up a bunch of PSAs the other day out of boredom. I finally realized what those guys cast, by the way. They cast Fury, and it's hot shit in hell difficulty, and it's really easy to kill you. You know, call me a weirdo, but I think that these guys that are made out of ice might be weak to some fire damage. Am I a little dumb for thinking that? I don't think so. See, I'm starting to get more accustomed to my hotkeys, I think. I'm starting to get a little bit better feel for it. So we're scouting out ancients, and then we're gonna break the video. Because this dungeon can be fucking big, and I don't want to do it twice. Especially as my energy starts to dwindle, but we have 2 beverages next to me. I actually have a mix of beverages next to me. I have 2 cups of iced tea, all about 20 ounces. One of them has ice in it, the other doesn't, because I only have 1 ice tray, and I'm too lazy to buy a second one. You act like I'm joking, but I'm actually serious. I was thinking about it the other day, and I just said, nah. It's always, every time, that I always think about it, and then I just get distracted. Even though someone at that party last night, they got an ice machine, and I was a little bit mad. What if I just bought an ice machine? You know what? That's a good point, but I don't know. I never thought of it that way. Can you put those in the freezer? I don't know. I used to have an ice machine when I was a wee young lad. Used to have like a crescent ice and a crushed ice maker. Man, we were fucking the fanciest people I knew because we actually had a fridge that did that. Growing up dirt poor, fucking everyone else in their bags of ice bullshit. Nuh-uh, Seth's family's fucking loaded. We got this fridge that's got fucking ice in it. Yeah, take that, you fucking plebs. I do miss that. You know how everyone's like, oh, I had well water. Our well water had 0 taste and 0 smell. And that is amazing. And it was perfectly drinkable and nothing was wrong with it and it was just the best. You know, I hesitate to say this, but I genuinely miss that water. It was so delicious. Am I making you thirsty? Because I really am too. I'm gonna take a drink in. Why not? Let's let these guys do their thing. You guys didn't even damage this guy. Fucking hell, what do I pay you guys for? I pay you guys so I don't get killed. What am I saying? Anyways. Yeah, I missed that. We're talking about water and pH. It's 9 o'clock. That's why I took a nap earlier, otherwise I'd be talking about something way more uninteresting. I wish I was kidding, but I'm dead serious. This is dead serious! Alright, for God's sake, Ancient's Way, why are you so big? Alright, perfect. That's step 1. Now we need to find the actual entrance. Or exit, whatever you want to call it. It's a one-way trip to Bone Zone! My voice isn't really ready yet. Well, I forgot to mention that. Oh, there it is. That's pretty close. It was so cool, that party I went to. I say it like it's a party. It was just a handful of coworkers. But I guess that's a party, is it not? Go away, Frozen Creeper. I'm rubbing my eyeball. They actually had Pacific or Athletic Brewing Co. NA beers, and they were free. It was so fucking cool. I had 2 of them. They were good things, dude. I love Athletic Brewing Co. They're great. Them and Deschutes. Deschutes I prefer, but Athletic's really good. That is a terrible charm. Excuse 1 to attack rating. 1. I didn't even know that was an... Okay. I learn something new every time I play this game, I swear to God. Go away, airplane. That's not really worth it. So let's get our pots and pans ready for Neelithok, and then we'll be done. Salutations. Salutations, Mala. How you doing? Good? That's good to hear. We haven't talked in about a year or so. Everything going okay with the barbarian guy? He never leaves this place. Or this guy. You like to... Or this guy. Or this guy. I think Mala likes to... get a little grinding action going. You know what I'm saying, boys? I'm not good at innuendo. Only in you... What's this? Ew. That's not very good at all. I'm sorry. For now. But I'll see you in the next one.
Wow, nice grinding action.